Alrighty guys, in this video, let's take a look at how are our memory stocks, Micron, SK Hynix, Sandisk, and chip stocks, Nvidia, AMD, ARM, Broadcom, how are they all doing considering we were seeing a huge sell-off in the Kospi yesterday, or well, in their latest session. And this is Kospi. As you can see, I did a video for you guys as well last night for that, and we had closed quite bad on, this is SK Hynix on Korean market, this is Samsung on Korean market, so nothing is improving there. But how is the US market reacting to all of that? Nothing much has changed. As of this morning, you can see this is SK Hynix opened up way lower, 152 from its last closing of 167 technically. Opened way lower. Yes, we have a green body candle today, but what does it mean? Well, let's talk about all of that in this video. But before that, I want to let you know, none of this is any financial advice, only for education purposes, just sharing my opinion. Please do your own thing. So I want to start off with Kospi first. Okay, let's get over there because when I did the video, Kospi was still ongoing. Now we have Kospi closed. So let's start there. So we remained in the negative structure. Okay, this is where structure broke 8,000 area, and since thereafter rebounds have came along the ways, but they have been just rebounds, right? And things have been still going down on hourly interval as well. On the Kospi, we have never even able to regain that very lower moving trend line, and thus our directional side and the bias continues even on the lower time frame to the downside. Rebounds haven't been even strong because usually most of the times you would see rebounds, they would breach the trend lines, all right, and grab the liquidity. Like the market is so weak on Kospi, it's not even doing that. It's not even trying to catch up all the way to the trend line, right? So that's where the problem is. Okay, Kospi is really weak. Let's get to SK Hynix on the Korean market first. This thing also closed very deep in the red. Okay, and this broke the structure as I have told you previously at this zone. I mean, this is also our ongoing resistance 2.4, right? It's 2,400,000 around, but I just call it 2.47. It's easier to say that bigger number, and it is still on the negative side. And this is what it will reflect when we get to the Nasdaq side of the SK Hynix, because that's just an extension, right? This is Samsung. Nothing is improving. Blockbuster earnings, but nothing changed. 314 is where we lost the structure on this thing. And along the ways, we have been continuing lower. I even called out this rebound. Don't get too excited with this rebound that breached the level for a day, because on the lower time frame back there, we were still negative. Anyways, let's get to on the Nasdaq side. How are things looking like? So SK Hynix, right, not doing much better. And why would it do much better? Because it's still an extension of Korean market there. We did see a little bit of a comeback for the day. It's already selling off the gap. It just tried to fill the gap because unfilled orders are getting filled, part of it, all right? And then nothing has changed, guys. We are seeing a sell-off. It remains in the negative structure. Green body in itself doesn't mean anything. Our price action on this on SK Hynix remains at the negative side still. It's not a buy. It's not a buy. Why? You should not look SK Hynix here individually on Nasdaq. What you need to look at is SK Hynix on the Korean market. And I have pointed out this to you before as well, that if in this directional upside on SK Hynix on the Korean market, if that's when we had a debut of SK Hynix on Nasdaq, then our bias would be to look to the upside. But since SK Hynix on Korean market is already in the broken direction to the downside, why would you buy SK Hynix on the US side? It's just that they just got to make more money on the IPO side to raise more money. These players benefit, but not you. And that's why I teach technicals in these videos, so that you understand how to read the market and where to put your chips. Okay, so SK Hynix, unfortunately, definitely is, you will have to use SK Hynix on Korean market as a reference, because this is just an extension. Now let's get to Micron, because Micron is also coming down, but we have a green body on this thing, green candle on this thing. Now, as I said, the green candle in itself is not a definitiveness or identification of anything. Okay, it's just a sentiment for the day. But what is the price action telling us? Now, hourly interval, I told you that last 2 days were our rebound phases. That's a transition phase, right? Now, can this transition phase hold and turn around in the strength to the upside? These multi-day rebounds, can they do it? Well, for that, we first had to stay above $950. We lost it. Right now, what it's doing is just trying to come back. And since we also have this overnight gap here, it can even go for a fill and still come down. Okay, you can use a reference line as well here for to make your decisions. Not like use this as a reference. I mean, when I say make decisions, it's like gauge the sentiment. Reference lines are not, or trend line, I like to call them reference lines, because they're not the way that you will identify a proper trade areas. They are more for your sentiment gauge, the reference, and all. Levels are the ones that will help you to really make your proper decisions, because levels are where institution traders place their orders, and many other things happens at the levels only. So the point is that what we'll have to see on Micron before we get out of this transition phase and can confidently give Micron an upside direction would be if Micron here doesn't break the significant level below, that is 891, and we see a day close either today or tomorrow, but without losing 891 below. If we get closer to 985, if we close stronger there, then only we will get again back in a transition phase. We still have to take out that zone above around 1030 full on, but you cannot. So this rebound technically, guys, is over once we lost that bottom end of it, 950, and it will only regain back in the strength if we get closer to 980, right, below, without losing 891, right? And then only there's a possibility that, okay, this is a transition in place and a confirmation with 985, and then only probability will come for an upside direction again. Right now, otherwise, no, you are stuck in the transition, you are stuck in the rebound, which means overall structure is still taking precedence, which broke at technically $1,100 on Micron. Okay, let's move on to Sandisk. Now, Sandisk is also losing the bottom end of it, 1860, right? That was the zone. I mentioned that this rebound that we have gotten for last 2 days, it was at the just at the edge of it to just gain that next level of strength. Right up here, 1940 area. I have been telling you this, but what I mentioned to you in my last video, we don't want to lose 1858, because if we lose 1858 or 1860, this is a zone. If we lose this bottom end of it, this rebound is over, guys. Unfortunately, overall structure will take precedence, which is still in the negative structure until this red zone. And today you can already see we are coming down on this thing. Yes, we are finding a bit of a bounce at a significant level, but it's just a bounce. All right, it's not even a back in the rebound transition phase overall. Unfortunately, those rebounds are over right now, and we couldn't regain this side to the upside because we never broke out. So you are waiting at this point. It's in the weakness. You should not buy here, and it's already so extended that it's not a place to buy. It's mostly like position management side. We cannot look upside from here. Even the rebound strength will not build up on this thing as we stay below this 1890 zone and so forth. Okay, so we are in the weakness right now. We will have to regain again like 1860. If we can do that today itself, if we can somehow get at 1860 and above, then there is a chance it has a room to stabilize and come back again. Otherwise, no, expect a lingering weakness around and possibility more of a downside, because overall structure is still holding the weakness on Sandisk. All right, let's move on to Nvidia. Nvidia is very simple, guys. Still in the bullish structure that I gave you, breakout with the 199 and 50 cents. And today's red candle is not too much of worrying because, as I said, just a green body will not make something bullish, just like that one red body would not make the thing bearish. We have to understand the price action. And Nvidia will be fine until 203, no problem in the direction structure of this to the upside. That's where until there, it's technically a pullback. Okay, can it lose it? Yeah, it can lose it. But is it losing it? No. My point is that these zones are what we'll be using to manage our position. If you need access to my tools that marks all these levels automatically for you, you can check out the details in the description of this video for my trading tools, and all these levels will show up automatically on your charts. You can use it on all instruments and many other tools I have for you that helps me to make better decisions in trading. And so it helps also the members who are using the tools. And lately, many of you have joined the membership, guys. Please just make sure that you at least check out members only videos for at least last 7 videos from the time of your joining, so that you have a context, because these all videos are done in continuation. There is a context that overlaps. They are not in isolation. So please make sure you check out at least last 7 videos. I appreciate you joining, and great stuff, right? So now let's move on to AMD. So what is AMD doing today? AMD is bouncing up and it's still very strong. Which zone it's bouncing up from? From our intraday zone that I have given you, 528. I said that above this we are bullish distribution phase. Yes, liquidity zone is still suppressing it, but we are holding strong up here. That zone is still holding 528, which means above that, that was our zone of support still, and that is still holding. That's why these zones that I provide you are so important. Exactly, precisely. I can't make it up. You know, precisely we tested our zone, and because price was above it, it was a zone of support, and it is holding it. It's respecting it. So, and that's why if it would breached it, that's a broken structure, which means when an important zone breaches, on the other side, you are doing your risk management, right? And that's how you have to understand these zones. So yeah, and at this point, yeah, it is still in the bullish distribution phase. It is definitely stronger than other memory stocks right now, right? But yeah, so AMD is looking good and strong. Yeah, so all good on this thing so far. It's not the time though to buy more AMD. I would say if you have a position running, you are just holding that right now after taking some partial profits. That's how I do it. You want to do it that way. Don't want to do it, don't do it that way. You can do whatever you like. ARM is still negative, guys. The rebound phase is over on this as well. Okay, we tested through the rebound between this transition phase, and unfortunately when we can't stabilize up here at 327, that zone, red zone, that still kept acting as a then overall resistance. And then now a rebound phase is over. As what I have been saying, this is just a transition. Let's see transition phase if it turns it around. They didn't do it, coming down. Unfortunately, it remains in the overall negative direction. Okay, this is in the overall negative direction. Now, it's not going to change overall direction until we get above that red zone up there, 337 area around. Broadcom technically is still in the bullish price action. Pullback is today, this testing one of our important zone area, 386, getting bought up so far. I would still consider Broadcom will remain bullish at least, or you know, it's not good. There's no point in trading longer bearishness on this thing right now. That's what my point is. Pullbacks are most likely even until 373. These are your zones that slowly you have to manage and build the position technically. Problem for me on Broadcom will only be if it loses 372 area. Today's pullback is a little bit getting bought up already. It is still for me in the bullish play. TSM remains unfortunately negative on the distribution end side below 446. That's where I'll leave it at. Let's keep it simple for TSM, okay? Because that's what it's doing, just sideways action. Intel is also remaining in the negative structure, guys. 116 below, nothing would change. I can get rid of this zone. It has served our purpose. For the near term focus that we need to focus on. It's testing now next zone below here, $100. So, but the point is that, yeah, it's just not 2 months, 2-3 months just gone sideways here. And also it's on the weakness side below 116, so it's not a play. Okay. Seagate. Seagate is also on the negative end. It has also lost its rebound strength. Red structure never fully regained above that. It was also at a critical right at the edge of it to break out. We were watching the 936 area. If it can break that out, then we would see a strength, like a longevity type of a strength come back that may push it to the highest test again. Never did that. Continued to reject that a red zone there, and red zone, this whole zone, and the rebound phase is over. It's just a day of a bounce, not gonna do much here, remain in the weakness unless we see a close again above close to 912. Below that, there is not much you can do on this thing at this point as well. Okay, so that's where Seagate is. All right, guys, just before wrapping up, let's take a quick look at SK Hynix again. No, it's nothing much changed since just the update I gave you. Micron also a little bit, just a gap fill it's doing, and so it's just Sandisk still weak, still just a little bit of a bounce for the day, nothing much. So, if things have to come back around to the upside, well, we'll have to see that in the price action, and for that I just gave you the zones and the levels to watch for that. Otherwise, no, because you are already should be doing risk management now. Micron, now you get my point, right? Like, why do I tell you when the price action is breaking, you don't question it? This was the zone, right? $1,100. You don't question it. So many of you, well, my members did not came back to argue with me. They understood what I was telling, why to start sizing down. But so many noobs came out of the woodwork talking about, oh, it is like, hope you didn't sell it. Oh, well, if they still didn't sell it, I can tell you they're in a big loss. Their accounts would be blown up by now, and they're nowhere to be seen now. Those people have just hidden. They were right just once in the hindsight, and they were stroking their chest as if they know it everything. And they have blown up their accounts. They're nowhere to be found, right? Crickets now from them. But my members, they understand, they understood what I was telling, what the price action was doing, and they're thankful that they got out when it was the right time to get out. Anyways, guys, if you want to learn more about all these price action technicals, feel free to join my memberships. Links are in the description of this video. You can join through YouTube for the members only videos. You can also join through Patreon. On Patreon, you will also get my trading tools if you join that particular membership. There's a complete package as well with my trading tools and the stocks coverage both in one. If you like that, that will give you a full round picture, because you will use the tools at the same time understanding with more examples of me doing so many stocks for you using those very tools, right? And tools have everything inbuilt that helps you to make decisions in real time as well. Details are in the description of this video if you're interested. And with that, I'll see you in my next videos. Take care, bye.